I'm sorry that I was so unfriendly when we first met. For some time now, I've had the feeling that I'm being pursued, and my nerves are shot right now. Of course I know your father. To be precise, I have known him for a very long time, and I know him very well. I was with him on one of his expeditions back then. We were in the Tunguska region back then, together with the Cuban Manuel Perez, an Irish biologist whose name I can't recall at the moment, and some assistants. I don't want to get into details regarding the events of the past, but for some reason, someone appears to be very interested right now. I have the feeling that not only your father, but I as well am in danger, and possibly all members of that past expedition still living. Of course, I can't prove it, but if I'm not mistaken, the Russian Secret Service, FSB, could be behind it. They already tried back then to prevent us, and your father in particular, from undertaking further expeditions. You know about your mother?
My mother? Why? What does she have to do with anything?
You know that she died in an accident?
Yes, but...
It is rather questionable whether it really was an accident. You were in the car as well. I was driving behind you when the car suddenly crashed through a bridge railing and plunged into a river. I was barely able to get you out of there. But when I tried to save your mother, 2 of my fingers were torn off. Therefore...
Daddy never told me anything about that.
I'm certain he tried not to burden you with that as well. The 2 of us have already reproached ourselves enough. But enough about the past. Now we have to find your father again. Due to the events of the last few days, I activated a few of my contacts. One of them is Sergei, who is moving in circles which, well, I'd rather not be found anywhere near them. But he knows just about everything that no one is actually supposed to know. According to his information, a research station was built in the Tunguska region decades ago, and now another transport is planned to go there. Supposedly, not all the scientists who are to be transported there are participating voluntarily. This research trip and the disappearance of your dad a few days before its start could very well be linked.
Does that mean my father was kidnapped and is now sitting on a train to Siberia? What do they want from him?
Even if, officially, he hasn't been active in research for years, he is still an expert in his field. I am sure that Sergei could help us.
I have to go to Moscow?
I have an airplane. We could be there in a few hours. I know this is all quite a lot to swallow at once, but if your dad is really on that train, we have no time to lose. As soon as he reaches the Tunguska region, we'll barely be able to get him out again. The area around the station is too heavily guarded.
What do you mean?
I don't know, but maybe it is the only chance. So let's go.
It would be good if someone stayed behind, in case Vladimir does get in touch after all.
But...
Nina, we should go if we want another chance to get there before the train leaves.
I suppose I could have another look at your father's records, but I don't have a good feeling.
Great. Then let's go.
Take good care of yourself, okay?
I'll do my very best. I wish I could.
Yes, me too. Good luck.
Oleg didn't tell me you were such a beauty. If I had known that, my price would have gone down.
Yes, I'm happy to see you too. You can help me in the search for my father?
Sergei can do a lot of things. Some say Sergei can do everything. But Sergei is Martyr, so let's just stick with Sergei can do almost everything.
Yes. Modesty honors you.
What can I do for you?
I thought you knew that.
Sure. But Sergei needs all the information again firsthand. And looking at your mouth and your moving lips...
Are you going to help me or just gawk?
How does the saying go? One hand washes the other...
Okay. So, my father has disappeared. I only wanted to meet him in the museum where he worked. And as I arrived...
Yeah. Sergei knows that.
Then what do you want to know?
What did your father do in the last few weeks? What was he working on? Who was he working for?
Oh, quite honestly, I have no idea. I have never really spoken to my father to any extent about his work. He tends to hold hour-long lectures about scientific things, and after a few minutes, I tend to fall half asleep. Then at some time, we agreed to leave the subject of work out of our conversations.
Not good. Really not good.
Yes, I know, but it doesn't matter now anyway. But again, I really don't know what it was, or for who he has been working for recently. Besides his work for the museum, he still held lectures and prepared reports, but I can't be any more exact than that. All I know is that in the last few days he seemed a bit unconcentrated, as if he was especially concerned with something. But what that was?
That gets us nowhere. A couple of birdies told me in the last few days that another train is leaving for the Tunguska region today. It has to do with some kind of scientific experiments. What kind exactly, I don't know. But it's not important now. In any case, a few old friends have been reactivated.
Old friends? Reactivated?
Scientists and people who know the area who were in the Tunguska region in the past, they were, well, asked to cooperate. Some came voluntarily. Others had to be persuaded.
Oh, I understand.
Good. Be that as it may, your father may be with them.
Is he in danger?
If he doesn't do anything stupid, he won't have any problems normally.
But how are we going to get him out?
We aren't going to get him out at all. But as I've already said, Sergei can do almost everything. An old acquaintance is standing at the side entrance of the train station. He'll take you in and give you a pass and a uniform. As soon as you're on board the train, you should be able to find enough time to look around. The guards on board are usually busy drinking and playing cards during the trip. Oh, and by the way, you're traveling under the name Nina Perkova. Your last name could give you away if your father is actually on board.
So I get in the train, eliminate all the guards, and free my father. Alone? Great plan. Just great.
When you find him, then we'll see how you'll get your father out. Not to worry. Sergei would never leave such a sweet ass hanging.
Okay, that's a relief then. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit nervous about my father. I really am happy that you could help me. Thank you.
That's okay, little one. They don't call Sergei the good soul of Moscow for nothing. And don't forget, even if you get information that you don't know what to do with, Sergei can certainly figure it out.
Okay, I'll see what I can find out.
Nice weather we're having, isn't it?
Yeah. It's much too nice to sit around out here. Comrade Yushin is taking your shift now. Isn't that nice of him?
What? Why?
Come with me. Let's chat a bit.
It doesn't seem to be my lucky day today. Was that a coincidence, or did they find out that Sergei bribed one of the guards? In any case, I now have a huge problem. Sergei has gone. My cell phone has no signal here, and I have to get onto the train fast. Nina, it's time for a stroke of genius. I need an idea. Dirt and refuse. Known among experts as junk. Well, let's rummage around in the garbage, shall we? Great! A rusted nut and an unidentifiable iron something. It's the small things in life that bring happiness. As long as the worker is looking the other way, I should take the opportunity. Let's see what Russian construction workers have for breakfast. No cheese, no ham, but 4 layers of butter.